How's it going, everyone? Gadgets Boy here. So in my hand I have the Surface Duo. The Surface Duo is arguably one of the best devices out there when it comes to productivity and multitasking. In fact, after this review, after been using it for a while now, it left me thinking this is actually a product that Microsoft have delved into, have gone into producing just to sell some of those Microsoft Office and some of the software that they do in terms of ecosystem and getting more people into using Microsoft applications like Outlook, Office 365, and so on. It doesn't have some of the latest tech we're seeing some of the latest smartphones out right now, but it's geared towards a niche market. It's rocking all the key ingredients it needs to function well under pressure with no hiccups. You can make phone calls on it, and it's not a tablet device per se. I'll just refer to it as a mobile device. Design wise, it's super thin. It's as thin as the USB-C on the bottom of the device, and Microsoft says it's the thinnest mobile device on the market with 8.1-inch PixelSense Fusion display. The Surface Duo's display is connected by what Microsoft calls a dynamic 360-degree hinge, which allows the device to fold all the way so you can use each display individually. It's one of the best I've felt in terms of how it just sticks into position whenever you fold it, whichever way you want to use it. And it does it with ease as well. How they have managed to make the hinge like that in such a thin form factor is magical to me. With this, it means you can load two different applications on each display simultaneously, and you can run it as well. You can fold it in whichever position you want it, like laptop-like mode, for example. You can use it as one big display. You can hold it like a book. You can use it as a single display when gaming, when watching movies, up to you, although you have that hinge in the middle of it. Or you can fold it in tent mode style for movies or something. And you can even slightly open it to have a peek at your notifications as well. Each display is 5.6 inch, so it's still pretty big to use in an unusual aspect ratio. And the big bezels are so last year. Elsewhere, you have a fingerprint sensor that works well, volume rocker, power button, and the SIM card tray, which are all located on one side. It would have been nice to have the power button and the fingerprint reader integrated though. On the outside, it has a Corning Gorilla Glass on both sides, and it feels like a Surface device with the Windows logo on the left side. It feels solid but fragile at the same time because you know if you drop it, it's most likely going to shatter into bits. So it's not one for field workers, but you get a free bumper case in the box as well. So this keeps it slightly raised. So if you put it on a surface, for example, it will keep the glass back and front protected, as well as keeping that edges protected as well in the frame. You'll also notice there aren't any cameras on the back either. But you get an 11 megapixel f2.0 camera on the front, which can be turned into a main camera when you fold the device. It can shoot 4K videos at up to 60 frames per second, and even supports slow motion videos at up to 240 frames per second at 1080p. If you use the Surface Duo for Microsoft Teams video calls though, you'll be restricted to 1080 at 30 frames per second. The Surface Duo is not the best for sound with a mono speaker, but if you're serious about this, I'd suggest getting the Surface Buds as well to match. Under the glass Surface Duo, you have 6GB of RAM and up to 256GB of UFS 3.0 internal storage. You have a Qualcomm Snapdragon 855 processor. You also get a 3577 mAh dual battery, and it's still amazing how they've managed to fit that much in there, considering how thin it is. And when you need to charge it, you get an 18-watt charger in the box. Let's talk about the user experience. When you open up the Surface Duo, it's a big display to view everything and to decide how you want to perform tasks. So you can open two apps at the same time in landscape mode or portrait mode. This brings the best of Android to the world of Microsoft. As well as loading up two apps side by side, you can run them simultaneously as well. With that said, not all apps are optimized to fully enjoy this experience, but some apps that show it off well includes Kindle app, for example, for reading books, so you can flip through pages as you wish to do so. And as I said at the start, Office 365 apps works really well on here as well if you want to download and get involved in the Microsoft ecosystem. You can have Word open on one side of the screen and Edge browser on the other side for reference, whilst you write your next document. Or maybe if you were on the Teams meeting, you can open up your calendar on one side of the screen, and on the other, you can take notes for your meeting or look at your calendar and that kind of stuff. Or you can maybe sketch on one side of the screen whilst you play Spotify on the other. You get the gist. Some apps can also take advantage of both displays when extended, so you can open Outlook Calendar and see the events at glance on one side and see the full details on the other side as well. You can also drag and drop between compatible applications if you wish to do so. Again, really good for multitasking and productivity. With the Surface Duo, you also get a feature called App Grouping, where you can select two applications that you use quite often or open together quite often, and group them together so with one tap you can quickly open both applications at the same time. You can also change its arrangement, so if you want one to go at the top or the bottom, you can change or swap them around as you wish to do so. So far all well and good, but what is the problem? Where is the problem with the Surface Duo? To start with, the bezels are just too big for the display. The Surface Duo is so slick on the outside, but when you open it, it feels outdated, and not all apps are optimized for that aspect ratio either. When you fold it over, you get this double tap gesture to activate the displays, so you don't accidentally use the bottom display when the top one is in use. But this doesn't always work, or it's not as seamless and smooth as you might think. When in tent mode, the other side is redundant, so if I wanted to share my display with someone on the train, for example, maybe we both want to watch the same movie at the same time, I can't do so. I also love that you can use Xbox Game Pass Ultimate here as well, so you can take advantage of that gaming experience if you wish to do so, but you are restricted to use one display to enjoy this gaming experience, as gaming on the whole display and enlarging it to use the whole display means you get that border in the middle which kind of just interrupts your gaming experience. For example, if you're playing Call of Duty, you won't be able to see the person that you're meant to be shooting. Or if you're driving, you don't know when to press and swipe left or right to hit that nitrous when you're actually driving in asphalt, for example. Considering this is only just launching in the UK when we have the likes of the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 2 or the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra, where you get 120Hz refresh rate, for example, you can't do that on this device. Although I would say this is not actually geared towards gaming. So if you're a gamer and serious about gaming, this is probably not the device to check out. One thing that also bothered me as well is when using in sort of like a laptop mode kind of style and you're gaming on the top display, the bottom display still stays on. So there's no way, as far as I can find or see on the device, there's no settings to turn off half of the display, so I'm not distracted by what's happening at the bottom of the display. So at this point you might be wondering, why does the Surface Duo exist? Who's buying it, and is Microsoft just too late to the game at this point? Well, for me, it's aimed at people who really need a mobile device to get work done on the move without compromising on display size and multitasking. You would buy it if you want a business-focused device, but one could argue that you can get the Z Fold 2 from Samsung, so the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 2 instead, but that doesn't really give you the dual apps experience like the Duo does. And two displays better than one if you work. If you have a lot of work to do on Office 365 applications, for example, or you just like to have multiple displays. Like for example, I have dual display set up, as you can see behind me. So having a smartphone like this or a mobile device like this to do so and have multiple displays just makes my life a lot easier. Like I said, it's not for serious gamers, but still lets you game when you need to wind down or take a break from a long day of working and staring at your display. Battery life on the Surface Duo, in my experience, is decent as well. It lasts me the whole day. However, if you're going to be gaming on it or using it for Microsoft Teams video calls and that kind of stuff, battery life will reduce as well, so bear that in mind. And it also looks ridiculous as well if you're going to be using it to make phone calls and put it next to your face. So what I would suggest is investing extra money in the UK anyway. It doesn't come with the purchase. What I'd suggest is to go and buy yourself one of those Surface Buds as well to match. They look good, they sound good as well, and they're good for making phone calls. So that's it for the Microsoft Surface Duo review, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, if you have any questions, drop them there as well. If there's anything else you want me to check out on there to let me know as well. One thing I forgot to mention as well is I don't even know if it has an IP rating, so that's something else to bear in mind, is that in terms of durability, as well as there's no wireless charging. So again, this is something you'd get on some of the latest flagship devices on the market right now. But yes, make sure you subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Smash the like button, share it as well, and hit that bell notification so you'll be one of the first people to know every time I upload a new video up on the channel. There's loads of videos coming up actually. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.